Greetings, Twitter. Wanted to come on here quickly to basically redo the tweet that I did earlier this evening. Apparently, I did not realize my reception was in such poor quality where I was at. I was not anywhere near my office at home or anywhere where I could do a very good remote. So I wanted to redo this really quick. As you know, earlier this evening, the judge in Austin that was hearing the lawsuit against mifepristone, the abortion medication. I think I mentioned previously that I talked about the lawsuit that was had been filed against the FDA, and the fact that they were fighting to pull the approval on this abortion medication. And I think I mentioned, I said I didn't think that the judge would rule against it, and if he did, then it was going to probably be appealed. Well, the judge issued a ruling, and he basically was putting the approval on hold, and he actually postponed his ruling for 7 days to give the FDA and the federal government a chance to appeal, which they have. But what was interesting was that moments after this judge issued his ruling, another judge in Washington, I believe Washington State, I'm not mistaken, he issued a ruling stating that this medicine must be made available to a dozen or so, he calls them liberal states, which are Democratic states. And he basically, what he did was he issued what's called a prohibitive preliminary injunction against the ruling from the judge in Texas. That's basically what it boils down to. So now this is a judge versus judge scenario. And it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out. I briefly glanced at the ruling. I have not had a chance to read it all out, nor have I had a chance to read the ruling in Texas, which I'm interested in reading. I will do that this evening or sometime throughout the course of the day tomorrow, and I will come back live again to do a comparison of the two rulings, and just to see what they say and what the intent is. And if I can't get it done tomorrow, it'll be Sunday afternoon for sure. But I got a feeling that I can probably squeeze it in tomorrow. I will try. Because I do want to analyze both rulings. This is becoming a very interesting case because now you've got two judges that have issued rulings, one against the other, a partial injunction because they're only applying it to the states that sued and petitioned for the injunction in Washington State Court or Washington Federal Court in Washington State, and even that judge says that is not in the power or not in the capacity of a judge to determine the risks and or benefits of a certain medication. That this is something that should, the FDA should be doing. But however, the FDA, I think he said that they may have made some mistakes or the research was not complete or something like that. But we'll talk about that in great detail when we compare the two rulings. And I guess it's going to be interesting because more than likely the way this is going to play out is it's going to get appealed to the Fifth Circuit. Whether the Fifth Circuit will take into consideration the ruling from the judge in Washington, I don't know. If they don't, well, then more than likely it will probably get appealed to the Supreme Court, and we'll see whether or not the Supreme Court is going to take into consideration the ruling in Washington State. So it's the case is progressing, although it's getting very, very interesting with the occurrence of the events in Washington, and we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. I mean, there's not much we can do at this point, but I'll get back to you with a comparison of the two rulings, time permitting, and I will see you again. Good evening.